How's your son doing, Jane? Yeah. What is he working on these days at school? Okay, well, that's probably good. That's all you can ask for, right? Oh. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Good.
They always call us saying, he's, in trouble at school and he's suspended for a couple of days kind of thing. And then I have to talk to my manager. I have to work from home the next days.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty stressful time.
I think they might have different Carrie is a teacher, different expectations or something.
Well, the big kids, especially, so he has behaviors. But then the middle school is like, when he has behaviors, then
they don't know how to.
And where does he go? Must be, that's why somebody was asking me about middle school. I said I don't recommend it.
They don't know how to handle special situations.
Right. The high school teacher was really good. And they said, so they said if he misbehaves and then he gets to send home, then that's a negative reinforcement.
Yes, because he may like, oh, let me do something because I get to go home.
Yeah, I can just randomly throw a chair and then I get to go home. And because mommy and daddy are both working, they do not have the time to discipline me. I get to do whatever I want to do. And that was what happened during those years.
There you go.
For me, every time I have to tell my manager, I have to go home right now because I need to pick him up and then stay at home for like 2 or 3 days or sometimes 5 days.
Yeah.
So now
high school is working for him. Great.
They said we don't send him home. We don't want to give him that signal. If you misbehave, you get That's not the way out.
Yeah, good. I like that approach. Hi there.
Hi there.
We're about to start. There you go. You got us just on time. We're just about to start. Okay, Peggy, good to see you back. You had a good trip?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go ahead and start our practice today in yoga in this beautiful month of November with the mantra of appreciation. So now for the next hour, we get to be with our bodies and love and appreciate our bodies. So let's go ahead and get to a good start, starting to sit on your sit bones. Inhale, lengthen the spine, shrug the shoulders, release them down. Start to release any tension around the neck. Just create a few circles, just feeling your body. And notice where you are right now. And then come back to stillness and finding the energy of the breath. Noticing the pathway of the breath, appreciating this breath. As you inhale, feel the coolness of the air at the base of the nostrils. And the pathway travels back into the sinuses, into the back of the throat, into the trachea, into the top alveolar sacs of the lungs. And traveling all the way to the bottom of the lungs, almost into the belly. And notice the pathway of the exhalation, the warm, stale air leaving your body, creating space for new, vibrant, fresh energy in. And just really deeply connect with this breath. Acknowledging this constant exchange of energy in the body. Constant exchange with the universe we live in. And being thankful for that. We take in fresh oxygenated energy from the plants in our universe. And we give out CO2 for the plants in the universe to thrive. And acknowledge that it is a kind, giving universe we live in. And being grateful for that. And as you continue to settle down into your body through the means of the breath, maybe you start to notice your mind. You may be wondering, you may be seeking something, you may be desiring something. That is the pattern and nature of the mind. Always looking for something new, for some excitement. But right now we tell this monkey mind to come back to the source, to the present moment, where everything happens. Our life does not happen in the past or in the future. So let's live our life fully, being present in each and every moment. So we will get to practice conscious awareness for this 1 hour we set aside for ourselves. Not everybody is setting aside an hour just to be with themselves, with their body, mind, spirit, emotions, with everything that we are. So we bring this into our practice, the wholeness of us. And we get to change a few things by the end of the practice. And we will be grateful that we gave ourselves a chance to do that. And we can create a beautiful intention for our practice. Maybe you have something you want to achieve or accomplish, or have an expectation for your body to feel different. And it's okay not to have any expectations. We come to the yoga mat knowing that we may want something from it, but we know that always at the end we got exactly what we needed. And that is just enough. And making a dedication maybe to your own self, because how many times do we get to acknowledge others and dedicate our life and energy and everything we have to others, and we just forget to give it back to ourselves. So dedicate this practice to the higher self, to your body, whatever is important in you. And we'll commit to stay present into the moment, connecting with the breath when we slide away from the moment, and enjoying the practice, reassessing, readjusting as we go, always knowing that we apply the principle of ahimsa, non-violence, or kindness, gentleness in this yoga practice. And let's gently transition to our first shape of the day. We're going to be in child's pose, very popular, very common yoga pose. Very beneficial for the whole body. So get your knees open to the edges of the mat and sink your hips back and forehead on the floor touching. Arms maybe out in front, stretching and lengthening for a little bit. And we're going to start to breathe here. Inhale fully through the nose. Sending the breath into the lower back, hips and pelvis. And exhale, squeezing the navel to the spine, just really noticing this breath out to the body, along with any stress or tension we may hold. Inhale fully again. Bring the breath to the area below the rib cage. Create some space there. Expand laterally, forward and backwards as well. And exhale, squeezing the stale air out. Any negative emotions, any fear-based emotions or anxiety. And remembering that it is okay for us to experience fear, but fear is a very short-lived emotion and is based on a reality. We see a bear and we want to run. That is legit. But when fear stays in the body, gets perpetuated on and on and on for a long time, it becomes anxiety. And that is not even real anymore. It is mind created. And because it is mind created and it's not real, we can't change it. So knowing that fear is legit, we get adrenaline rush, we run, and that's it. Fear ended, threat ended, and we come back to peace. But when we don't have the time or the ability to come back to peace, we stay in constant fear. That becomes anxiety. So we can stop the cycle by breathing, by knowing that it's not real, telling our mind to relax. There's no real threat. And next breath in between the shoulder blades. Hold, expand. And exhale, letting it go, softening through the belly, through the heart, melting towards the ground. Forehead touches the ground, imprinting into the area between the eyebrows, where the pineal gland lies deep in the brain between the two hemispheres. And it's also in yoga called the Ajna chakra for inspiration, intuition, and concentration. So anytime we touch onto this point, we impress new energy into this area. For the next few breaths, we're going to slide the hands down by the legs, relaxing the arms now. 3 breaths here. Relaxing through the shoulders, sides of the neck, face, and arms. Letting the breath energy slide down our shoulders, smoothing off any stale negative energy. Breathe into your whole body. From the tailbone to the crown. From toes to fingertips. Sending new vibrant energy, prana force and chi throughout the body. Inhale, coming up into your hands and knees. And come to a tabletop for a short time to activate the spine with a few cat-cows. Inhale, lift the head, chest, and tailbone. And exhale, reverse. Tuck the tailbone under, drop the head, lift the spine. And inhale, continue on, circling the breath in the body along with the movement. Waking up the spine, the thyroid and parathyroids, thymus gland, pineal gland, and the whole endocrine system, including the adrenal glands. Just some gentle movements here. Moving the energy we collected into the child's pose, moving it around into the whole body. And now we're going to sway the hips side to side and the shoulders, creating a side sway. Just acknowledging the sides of the body, the hips, the soft area between the hips and the rib cage. Good. And maybe move the head a little bit along with the shoulders. Just do some irregular movements that really feel good and undo any stagnant energy in the body. All right, stop in the center. I'm gonna slide our feet back and the arms out in front, dropping the hips to the floor for the Sphinx pose or baby cobra. Feet and inner thighs pressing together, squeezing in. Stretch the left leg out, pressing out through the toes, and then the right to really lengthen the spine so we don't compress. And allow 90-degree angle at your elbow. Chest is lifted, hips are pressing down. And we're looking straight ahead and down to the edge of the mat. So head is lifted, but we have a downward gaze. Connect with the breath, and we will stabilize the pose and find that stillness. Find the breath and let the time take effect. This pose sinks the energy down into our pelvis area, low back, tailbone, front of the hips, gentle breaths, acknowledging this lower portion of the body into the middle part of the body. And give it our gentleness, our kindness and appreciation. Being grateful for our hips, pelvis, low back. Not everybody gets a chance to build their bodies like we are. So let's be grateful for this time that we have to be with ourselves. Very precious moments. We always are with other people and we give our energies in all kinds of different ways. And we can get depleted if we do that without filling ourselves up. So in yoga or meditation is that kind of practice that always gives back to you. It's an active, passive meditation. Slightly active, mostly passive, and it's meditative because we always contemplate within, letting go of any aspects of the world, acknowledging the surroundings and being in the surroundings, but choosing to drop within. We may even be in the most beautiful forest or waterfall or beach location. But we can always create something deeper and better and greater inside. We always have that choice, no matter where we are. We can create an internal atmosphere of peace, balance, comfort, and ease. Or we can find a joy to live in the present moment. All right, pressing the hips back for one tiny child's pose to release the back. So press back towards your heels, lengthen, and take 2 meaningful breaths here. Allowing the low back to recover, to come back, to open. And we'll transition to a seated warrior pose with the toes under. So we get to be stretching our toes. It's called a broken toes, but please don't break your toes. So we allow our weight to sit back onto the heels, just as much as we want to get that nice stretch in the toes. Hands can be on the thighs and sit up tall. Deepen the breath and observe how you send lots of good energy into all your toes. They get to get a lot more circulation, more energy as they open up. We'll sit here just a little bit more. They hardly ever get an attention to the toes. So this is your chance to love and respect and be grateful for your toes. They help us get into balance as we walk, as we stand. They help us move into the world. Very important, those 10 toes. Time to appreciate them for one more breath. All right, we'll slide back forward again. With the left arm out to the side with an L shape at the elbow, like a 90-degree. We'll turn the head to the right. And right hand is on the floor, helping us with this position. So as you turn here, you're gonna get a good stretch in the pectoralis on the left side. And we stay here, or if we want more, we can bring the right leg back towards the back of the left leg. So we slide on our side a little bit. This will accentuate that pectoralis stretch. So come onto your left hip slightly, and then bring the right leg over and back behind the left. It's gonna feel intense in that arm. See how it feels in your body. And you can choose to bring that leg over or just slightly over. Yeah, so focus on that pecs on that side. You're doing great. Yeah, and slip over a bit. That's it, yes. And that right hand is gonna help us with leverage, or you can get your bolster in front to hug your friend, your bolster. Nice. And see if the toes can touch the floor of that back leg. Drop it down with a knee bend. With a knee bend is fine, yeah. So eventually, as we slide more, we're gonna open more into the hip here, yeah. And you still wanna feel that pectoralis comfortable. You wanna get a good stretch, but still be comfortable there. It's a deep back stretch. Enjoy that. We hardly ever open this. It's always constricted and leaning forward and crunching forward. So it's an opportunity to open up here. We get to send a lot of energy and vibration into the lymphatic system in the armpit as well. So very good for cleansing the body of toxins, increasing our lymph flow, Then we get to experience our right hip starting to open just a little bit different into the front. It's quite challenging at first. It doesn't matter where you are, you still get a lot of benefit. So we're gonna stay here and breathe. We go through a lot of resistance here because it's opposite of what we do for years and years and years. So the body had created a tendency to be constricted in this area. And we're just going through that with gentleness. We want to back off if it's too harsh. And use the breath and the mind intention here to open up this area, to help it liberate the stagnant, stale energy, create space for something new and fresh. Deepen the breath, lengthen the exhalation, releasing with each deep exhale. That tension, that stress, that contraction, let it flow out of your body through the breath, through the fingertips. Inhale, extend the legs back and bring the chest all the way back to neutral first. And slowly lengthen the arm out to the side. Let it recover here. And then bring it down slowly, slowly by the waist. And take a moment to come back to neutral. Noticing the differences between the two sides. Now your left shoulder and pec is gonna feel really open, really stretched. And the right one is quite tense. So let's create a opposing side stretch. Bring the arms out in a T again. In a pose with the elbows bent on both sides. And then turn your head to the left. And now left hand is gonna come on the floor with the fingertips down. Right ear to the floor, gaze to the left. And we start to notice that pectoralis area opening on the right side. As we get more into our right side hip, we can start to increase that a little bit. Now, if this is enough, stay here. Or if you need more twist, get that left leg to step behind the right. And if it doesn't like that much, keep it long and just slide it over the right toes. Just slightly back. You want to find a pose that feels available and comfortable. We can pose, allowing the time to take effect. Deepening the breath, sending vibrant, fresh new energy from the breath in that area that grabs your attention first. The most intensity. And soften that intensity as you breathe into that area. And as you lengthen the exhalation, you release more and more. Be gentle, be kind, be observant. Come back to your intention. Remember your intention for the practice. And you may notice differences between the two sides. Without any judgment, it's just information. You're acknowledging how your body feels in this moment and know that they may change. Few more breaths. Backing off if you need to. Breathing deep, or if you need to, allowing, receiving, feeling this great energy, opening up your right side on the pecs area and the left side at the hip level. So we're working throughout the whole upper body, into the leg, into the toes, really. Tell your body, tell your hips and your pecs how grateful you are for them working for you every day, 24/7. Those muscles, those joints, those tendons, cartilages, ligaments, everything working for you so you can move, so you can create, so you can travel through life. Giving back to ourselves. It's 1 hour set aside just for you. Inhale and release that leg first. Slide back onto the belly. Release that right arm. Stretch it out first. Rotate. Do whatever feels right to release that. And then bring it down to the side. Keep the forehead on the floor and take a few breaths here, allowing the arms to relax. We find ourselves here at the half point of our practice. Noticing the changes in the upper body, being grateful for your upper body. And we slide up into tabletop. And we start to work on the lower body now. Psoas first. So bring the right leg forward into a low lunge. And left knee needs to be on a blanket at this point. So use your blanket. So left foot on the floor, right foot on the floor in front, left off. So we're gonna get into the psoas, hip flexor and quad. So we can start with the hands on our knee first. Lifting up the spine, relaxing the shoulders back and down. And just holding the posture steady. Deepening and lengthening the breaths. Acknowledging the psoas muscle on the left side, which goes all the way from the knee and travels all the way into the third thoracic vertebra next to the heart. So on the left side, the psoas has to do and process a lot of emotions. It's a great muscle to address when we have a lot of emotional baggage. We have to deal with a lot of situations and people and circumstances. We gather a lot in our system and we need to find a way to release it. And this is the practice. Now, if you feel okay here and you don't need your hands on your knees, you can bring them to the hips and lift up a bit more. Then you get a deeper stretch if that is needed for you right now. If not, stay at your knees, at your right knee rather. Chest presses forward slightly and head may even drop slightly. So that will accentuate, of course, but be gentle, back off if you need to. Yeah, right. I know you may need it for balance for sure. So if you stabilize the hips, press that foot strongly, make sure the foot is under the knee, and use the whole foot for leverage. Press your weight into the foot and then lift up on the waist and open up. But it may take a while to find that security and strength in the practice. And just self-trust. It's also about we build self-trust as we work here. And it does take time, and that's okay. Yoga, it's a practice. It's never complete. It's never over. We always come to the mat with different energies each day. We may be struggling mentally, emotionally, or physically, depending on what happened in our life thus far today or yesterday. So we try to come back fresh each day. That's why it's important to practice every day so you can freshen up. All right, let's let go of that gently. Bring the hands to the floor. And we'll simply slide into the right heel to create a half splits on the right side. So the left knee is in a good position. Just slide the right leg out when you feel a good stretch. That's very easy. The time's gonna take effect. So we're gonna lean the body without bending. We're gonna keep like a nice long spine from tailbone to crown like a plank. We're not gonna attempt to drop down to the knee. Just have your hands on the block or on the floor, whatever is needed here. You need another block, Jane? Okay, so you may need it on both sides. See how that works. Ah, okay, because you're leaning on that, okay. Then I would say bring the knee more to a bend and just bring the foot towards you. So the knee can be bent a lot and then just curl the toes in and that will create a stretch. That way you have both sides equally balanced, you know. Because if you're just leaning one block, you're gonna lean to that right side. It gets your whole alignment in the upper body messed up. All right, slowly breathing, observing. Here we are working with the hip, pelvic floor attachments, hamstring, sciatic nerve, Achilles tendon, the intestine meridian that runs in the back of the leg. A lot of good stuff. But make it easy, don't force it. Knee can be bent as much as you need it to. This helps the body open up to the deepest level, not just the muscle, not the tendon, goes to the cartilage, to the ligaments, to the bone. All right, we'll gently come off of that, walk the leg back in, bring it back and stretch back to a child's pose to realign the spine. Just 2 breaths here, just feeling your body. Maybe you feel a big difference between the right and the left. Deep breath in, hold. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, come on back to neutral, tabletop. Walk the right foot forward. I'm sorry, the left. Left foot forward. We're gonna be with our right knee on the floor now on the blanket. Starting with the psoas. Find your balance in this left foot. You can keep the hands on the floor or on the block or bring them to the knee. Opening the chest. Finding a point where we can be stable. And if you're stable there, maybe walk your hands to the hips, press the hips forward, press the chest up and head back. This will deepen up so a stretch, but again, you know your body and you listen to your body. See what feels right, what feels good, what gives you benefit. Openness without forcing. Ahimsa, gentleness, kindness, metta. Breathe out any negative emotions, any heat that may come through the system. It's just toxic waste on its way out. Do not worry a bit. Let the process happen. Just breathe. Now let's gently transition to the half split. So drop that hip back a little bit as you bend the toes towards you. Maybe you keep the knee bent a lot. See how it feels. And let the body belong. Lengthening spine, tailbone to crown like a plank. So we create a V between the leg and the body with a narrow point at the tailbone. And we just breathe and allow, letting this great influx of energy travel through the back of the left leg, pelvic floor attachments into the hamstrings, into the Achilles tendon and sciatic nerve point in the heel. Breathe and allow, relax and let go. Soften. Soften the breath, soften the face, soften the emotions, whatever comes up, let it go. In yoga, it's very renowned for releasing of emotions. All the yoga does work on our emotional body, but mostly in yoga, because we get to sit with whatever comes up. It's processing time. Cleansing time, purifying the body, the mind, the spirit, the emotions. So we get to see what comes up and we let it go on its merry way. Something else comes up, that's okay. It's on its way out. The body is the storage house of everything that happens in our life so far has been stored in the body as a memory, as an emotions, as a fear, as a whatever shape and form it took in a moment. It can be stored if we don't release and process in a moment. The body keeps the score. And then the body struggles and suffers. You can turn it into a malaise, discomfort, pain, fibromyalgia, disease, any of the autoimmune spectrum of diseases that are actually created by our body fighting against itself. So this is the practice to not let that happen. And if it does happen, we also can unwind it and bring it out. We mostly think that the brain, or rather the mind, remembers the past. But have you ever noticed that when you encounter a situation or a circumstance in life that triggers a response, it first triggers it in the body. When you feel like, oh, you clench or you withdraw from a situation, you feel it because you felt it in the body. So the body basically is the storage of a lot of memories, not only the mind. So when you cringe, when you hear something, it's in the body, you feel it. And this is why we have to work with the body in this way to release all that stuff that we carry unnecessarily and it becomes a burden. So we want to be light and peaceful and flowing again. Inhale, release that leg. And let's bring it back. We'll come sideways on the mat for a frog pose. So get your knees as wide as you can have them. Maybe you still want the blanket as wide as you can have it. So we can have the knees wide and maybe bring a block or two in front of you. So knees are out wide and then feet wider than the knees. And then drop your weight forward here. Good. So use your blocks to rest on here or maybe rest on the elbows. Or on your friend, your bolster. Carrie always has a good friend nearby. It's her favorite friend. Release here into the groin, into the pelvic floor attachments, and the hip flexors. Also releasing that lymphatic flow in the groin, very important. Sexual organs get to be activated and rejuvenated with new flow. And the spleen meridian inside the legs. So we're working on a lot of magical stuff. So hold here for a few more good breaths. Knowing that we can release whatever does not serve us. We have a choice. Through the inhalation, we refresh. Through the exhalation, we let go. Stress, tension, negative emotions, anything you stored that does not belong in your beautiful body. Just let it go. It's okay to sigh, it's okay to cry. In yoga, those are all valid emotions. We are human beings, we're not human doings. So we're just gonna be human, and that's okay. Can you imagine here you are sitting on a beautiful horse and you're going through a beautiful forest or on the shore of your beautiful beach. So use the imagination mind to take you to beautiful places instead of randomly going to worries and concerns and things to do and ideas that will never be fruitful, or chatter of the mind, or repetitive patterns that we created. We just have to break those patterns and come back to the breath and exchange those negative or unhealthy thoughts with something positive. Tell yourself how great you are, how magnificent, how beautiful, how amazing. All those good things we tell to others, and sometimes we never tell them to ourselves. And it's not good to expect for others to tell us those things. They might, but they also might be able to take them away. But we need to tell those things. I'm enough, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm beautiful. Whatever you want to say that's positive. That way your brain starts to believe it and you'll create more of the same, disrupting that other internal chatter that may not be beneficial. All right, let's bring the toes together first and slide back, walking in again. And very slowly, we're going to transition to a seated position with the legs out in front for a deep forward fold, as deep as we want it. So we start with the knees bent. And we slide the hands down the legs, the chest drops on the thighs. And then let the body hang naturally over your legs. Just letting go. And you'll notice that you do want to keep the chest on the thighs all the time, but your legs may slide out as the body releases. But don't make it happen. No expectations, no final destination. Just let the body hang, the heaviness of your own body, and the pull of gravity is going to create the most optimal pose. This opens our low back. Kidneys, adrenals get to be activated. Releases the whole series of muscles of the upper back and middle back. Muscles around the neck, trapezius, rhomboids, scalene. Breathe and let go. Soften the jaw, smooth off the face. Erase the wrinkles on the forehead. Just be you with you, having this internal journey, noticing something new about yourself. Most and foremost, reminding to give your body appreciation. Appreciate your toes, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your hips. There's lots of beautiful, healthy body parts to be grateful for. And tell your body that it's healthy and whole and amazing. To never give in to disease. It's what we speak. If we say, oh, I'm sick, I'm unhealthy, I'm this, I'm that, you basically become that because your brain listens. When you say I am, that means you are. And the brain goes, oh yeah, you're sick. Oh, you want to be sick today? Take a day off from school. Let me give you diarrhea or something. You'll take a day or two off. So what we think becomes reality. So instead of saying I am sick, you say I'm healing. I'm doing better. I'm getting better and better each day. Or instead, oh, I have no balance. Say my balance is getting better and better each day. So we have a choice how we use our words. So we can change our bodies, our perspective, our reality. For a lot of people that come to yoga, I hear this over and over, and I don't want to hear it again, but I keep hearing it. Oh, I don't do yoga because I'm not flexible. I'm like, well, that's exactly why you need to do yoga. I wasn't flexible either when I started. I'm not naturally flexible. If I don't do the yoga, I'm stiff as a stick, you know? So it's not about being anything. It's just about showing up and doing what you can to get better. All right. A few more breaths here. Just really let go and relax. Let the body sink naturally, creating the most natural aspect of this pose right here, right now, in this moment. Different than yesterday, different than tomorrow. It's just what it is now. That is what is relevant and important and true and real. So when we acknowledge ourselves just like we are in each and every moment, we do get better and better and better. By denying and shoving things down, we actually do the opposite. So we're acknowledging and allowing and respecting all the aspects of who you are now. Knowing that things always change, everything is impermanent in this universe. And we always change, and that means change is actually growth. We grow when we change. Inhale, slowly slide up and come back to your Shavasana pose for the last few minutes to process all the good work we've done. You may choose to put your blanket on top of you and a bolster underneath your back if you like, either vertical or horizontal underneath you. Or you can simply be on the mat, whichever you desire. Your body will tell you what's best for it right now. If you feel like you need to sink your lower back down into the mat, you can bend the knees and slide something underneath the knees. Or even for a moment, bring the knees to touch and feet to the edges of the mat. This will drop your lower back. And then you can choose to change into Shavasana. Arms to the side comfortably. Open to the ceiling for receiving mode. Or dropping the palms into the earth for grounding. Just really receiving the benefits. This is all the benefits of the poses, shapes we created, the breaths we took, the intentions we made, the appreciation we send to the body gets all processed. And it gets to be brought into a new puzzle of our existence with greater well-being, greater happiness, greater joy, greater health and relaxation and peacefulness in the body, mind, and spirit. with our emotions being resolved and healed and let go of. So open up your hearts, give and receive, give to you and receive from you. You can always give to yourself. And what you give to yourself, nobody can take it away. And most and foremost, you get to choose what you give to yourself. Great love, great acceptance, acknowledgement, praise. You are great. You are amazing. You're a healthy, holy human being, not a human doing. We get to slow down and just be and observe. Contemplate our life, our existence, our moments. Maybe you choose here to scan your whole body and say thank you to every body part. Or we can use this Hawaiian prayer mantra that says, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and I thank you. So we need to say all those things to ourselves. We all have trespassed our bodies, our energies, our will many, many times. So we do need to say, I'm sorry. And we do need to say thank you a lot. And I love you. And please forgive me for the things we've done wrong against ourselves. Or for the things that we've done that cause harms to ourselves and to others. So whenever you are not in peace inside, when you have turmoil or struggle, you can say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And after you say this mantra a few times, you will feel much better. Because you're talking to yourself, to the internal true self that is deep inside, but it is there. And we forget to acknowledge it sometimes. Few more breaths here, just really, really being with this body. Seeing the difference in the energy of the breath, in the lightness of the breath, in the allowing and the receiving in the body, the giving in, not so much in giving up, giving in, giving in. And as you inhale now, let's bring the knees towards the chest. Embrace them with your arms. Bring them close to the body and give yourself a tight hug and a big thank you. And as you roll on your low back here, turn to your right and lift up to seated. All right, sit for a moment, close the eyes, rest your hands in your lap, and notice the body, notice the mind, notice everything that you are, and be grateful for all that you notice. The ease, the comfort arises, the joy, the peace. And let's feel that in our system for the next few hours or days ahead. Palms together. Bring it into the heart center as a gift to you. Namaste. All right. Have a good evening. You're going to sleep good tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
Well,
Welcome back. How was your trip? It's an eclipse tonight? Oh, really? How did I know? I don't keep up with the news very well. Oh, it's at 3 a.m. Okay. Wow. But it's supposed to be full moon, actually, and it's going to be with an eclipse, right? Wow. That is really crazy energy. I'm kind of feeling it. It was a great, actually, day to do this kind of stuff because he has more power. It's like 10 times more the power because of the moon energy. Lunar energy. Yes, yes. Yes, great. We've done it. See you. Yes, hope to see you Sunday, right? Hopefully, right? Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's nice too. Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. You can do some from home later. Yeah. Wonderful. How's school going? The kids are getting antsy a little bit. A little bit, right? Yes. When do you guys stop? When do you guys Oh, okay. Yes. Awesome. Well deserved. Not since last since I was in August. I was in Sacramento and Reno and Lake Tahoe, but it was around the time when they had a wildfire, so it was a little smoky in the area. So yeah, that was mid-August, my last trip. But I am going away next weekend as well. So same area to Lake Tahoe. Hopefully we get to ski this time. Hopefully, I'm not sure. I know there'll be no smoke. That would be good. Yeah, right.
Oh, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Hey there. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Just so you know, the temperature is not, it's kind of rising a little bit, but it's, oh. It's going up, but let me know if it's going up. Let her know. Okay, thanks. Have a good night. Good.